5 boys, 1 dream, and a whole lot of screaming fans. From singing solo in front of Simon Cowell's dead eyes to taking over the world and then just disappearing. These lads went from what makes you beautiful to what makes you break down real quick. We're talking the chaos, the charm, and the burnout of the boy band that defines a generation. One Direction. Let's rewind the glittery, high-pitched history of 1D. And trust me, it's juicier than Niall's leftover Nando's. Before they were melting hearts and topping global charts, the boys of One Direction were just 5 solo dreamers. Harry Styles, Liam Payne, Louis Tomlinson, Niall Horan, and Zayn Malik, all trying to go it alone on the X Factor UK in 2010. Spoiler alert, they didn't exactly crush it. Each of them flopped out of the boys category at boot camp, but dreams crushed? Not quite, because in a moment that would change pop culture forever, Simon Cowell and guest judge Nicole Scherzinger had a little eureka moment.
Turning with him.
100%.
Yeah.
Nicole's right.
Absolutely.
And him.
Yeah.
Let's smash these 5 cuties together and make a supergroup.
That's the category I want, just them.
This is like,
Seriously.
look at that look.
And just like that, on July 23, 2010, One Direction was born. Yes, 1D was literally a plan B. Fun fact, Nicole Scherzinger was recently vindicated when unseen 2022 footage showed her literally pointing at the boys like she was casting Avengers. She chose Niall first, followed by Harry, Louis, Liam, and finally the brooding Zayn. The name One Direction? That was Harry's idea, and no one really knows what it means, but it sounds cool, so we rolled with it. Their very first group song, a stripped-down acoustic version of Torn. And it was iconic. Even Simon Cowell was like, yep, these lads are fearless and possibly marketable. By week 4 of live shows, they were his only act left. Despite all the screams and tweets, they finished 3rd behind Matt Cardo and Rebecca Ferguson.
What's going to happen to One Direction now?
We're definitely going to stay together. This isn't the last of One Direction.
But plot twist, losing was the best thing that ever happened to them. Their would-be winner single, Forever Young, leaked online. Fans went wild, labels saw dollar signs, and boom, Simon signed them to Psycho Records for a cool £2 million. In early 2011, the boys flew to LA to start recording their debut album with big-name producers. They dropped their first book, One Direction, Forever Young, and hit the road with the X Factor Live Tour, performing for 500,000 people across the UK like it was no big deal. From 5 solo flops to a future global takeover, and they hadn't even dropped their first single yet. The glow-up was real. Once 1D hit the scene, it was like the world collectively screamed, yes please. They weren't just a band, they were a phenomenon. Their debut single, What Makes You Beautiful, exploded to #1 in the UK in September 2011. That iconic intro, basically a call to arms for every teenage girl on Earth. By November, their debut album, Up All Night, was out. And boom, history was made. They became the first British group ever to debut at #1 on the US Billboard 200. These boys were on a schedule more aggressive than a caffeinated personal trainer. 5 albums in 5 years. Take Me Home, Midnight Memories, 4, Made in the AM. While you were deciding what to watch on Netflix, they were dropping a chart-topping album every single year.
Now let's talk about the tours, because if the albums were intense, the tours were like pop boot camp on steroids.
One of the biggest accolades I ever remember about was having the biggest selling tour in the world for 3 years in a row.
The Up All Night tour sold out in minutes. Take Me Home tour was a global mayhem. Where We Are Tour in 2014 became the highest grossing tour of the year. 5 major tours in 5 years, not including all of the promo performances, red carpets, award shows, and probably waking up at 3 a.m. for a Japanese radio interview. And yes, they performed after a literal bus crash. But here's the dark twist. Behind the glitter and fan mobs, this high-speed hit factory was grinding them down. This album-a-year madness turned art into assembly line exhaustion. This wasn't just fame fatigue, this was burnout with a capital B. They were locked in hotel rooms like pop princes in shiny prisons, the minibar their only friend. Liam Payne, he spiraled into alcohol abuse and confessed he hit rock bottom, saying the loneliness nearly killed me a couple of times.
When we were in the band, the best way to secure us because of how big it got was just lock us in our rooms. And of course, what's in the room? Minibar.
That's not just burnout, that's trauma with the side of fame. Zayn, he battled an eating disorder and admitted to not eating for days because food was the only thing he could control.
Zayn Malik is opening up about his depression, eating disorder, and the immense pressure he felt being a part of One Direction in his autobiography, Zayn.
And Niall Horan? Sweet happy-go-lucky Niall had knee surgery postponed and was still forced to perform, all while suffering from anxiety, OCD, and agoraphobia. A pop star afraid of crowds? That's like a lifeguard afraid of water. Even Harry Styles wasn't immune. He faced irregular sleep, bad eating habits, and rising anxiety. Being adorable and universally loved does not make you bulletproof.
I literally have slept like 14 hours on the floor to Japan before and woke up on the floor and then like been greeted by 6,000 people.
So yeah, the tours were epic, but they were also brutal. Behind the smiles, glitter, and flawless harmonies were 5 guys slowly unraveling. What looked like non-stop fun was actually a fast track to emotional collapse. March 25th, 2015, the day Directioners wept worldwide. In the middle of their Asia tour, Zayn Malik shocked the planet by quitting One Direction with the heartfelt statement, "I just want to be a normal 22-year-old," he said.
I mean, I don't want to push him too much because, he's 22. I mean, I could see he was a bit stressed and he needed some time off. I had to respect his decision.
Translation, the boy was done with the boy band life.
Underlying issues like within our friendships too. We'd been together every day for 5 years and we'd got sick of each other, if we're being completely honest.
Zayn insisted there was no drama. The lads are my brothers, he said. Later, Zayn revealed the real tea. He felt creatively stifled and couldn't get a say in the group's musical direction.
Look, I don't want to go into too much detail, but there was a lot of politics going on.
While the remaining 4 tried to keep it classy and carried on as a foursome, making their first post-Zayn appearance on The Late Late Show with James Corden, you could practically hear the cracks forming. Spoiler alert, this wasn't just Zayn's exit. It was the first domino to fall in the great 1D unraveling. Turns out, fame comes with lawyers. One Direction might have ruled the charts, but they weren't immune to drama in the courtroom either. Back in 2012, One Direction got hit with a major trademark lawsuit from a California punk band that was also called One Direction. The American group demanded over $1 million, claiming they had the name first and were being drowned out by the British invasion. But after a legal tug of war, the California crew rebranded as Uncharted Shores, and our boys kept their name and their empire intact. In 2019, all 5 original 1D boys got sued over night changes. A songwriter claimed the hit ripped off his work. That case was eventually dropped, but the shadow of copy-paste claims didn't end there. In 2023, Zayn Malik was dragged back into court over his solo track, Better. A musician named Haven accused him of blatantly copying his 2018 song. The case is still unfolding, but Zayn can't seem to catch a break. Behind the fame and fan hysteria, the One Direction boys were juggling love, loss, and a whole lot of pressure. Harry Styles was branded the ultimate heartthrob, dating everyone from Taylor Swift to Olivia Wilde, but insiders say his womanizer image was PR-made, not personal. Zayn Malik had high-profile relationships with Perry Edwards and Gigi Hadid, but hated the fame game. He later revealed his bad boy image was fake and battled severe anxiety and eating disorders. Liam Payne went from pop prince to heartbreak,
becoming a dad, struggling with addiction, and tragically passing away in 2024 at age 31 after falling from a third-floor balcony at a hotel in Argentina.
An early autopsy saying among Liam's 25 injuries, his severe head trauma alone was enough to kill the 31-year-old singer.
Niall Horan kept things chill, avoiding high-profile romances and protecting his peace, making him the most emotionally grounded of the group.
Louis Tomlinson faced unimaginable loss, losing both his mother and sister, all while battling fan conspiracies and personal pressure. He admitted to feeling insecure about his place post-1D. Behind the lights and chart toppers, these guys were human, and fame came at a steep emotional price. One Direction officially went on an indefinite hiatus in January 2016, marking the effective end of the band after 5 years of intense global success.
I've always made their own decisions, and I've never been one to say, you've got to do this, you've got to do that, because I couldn't anyway. But I have a fantastic relationship with the boys.
By 2017, every member had gone solo, and they even shut down their touring company. Harry later admitted he was the first to float the idea of a break, wanting to give fans a breather. Zayn got real too, saying they were all sick of each other by the end.
Meanwhile, Louis emotionally compared the breakup to another loss. Though they never reunited, the boys stood united one final time, releasing a touching tribute after Liam's tragic death in 2024. In a bittersweet twist, 1D's music exploded on the charts again, with all 5 albums storming back into the UK and US top 40, proof that, even apart, their legacy is stronger than ever.
While they ruled the charts, the boys also ruled at giving back, from raising millions for children in need, comic relief, and Ebola relief.
One Direction are doing Band-Aid. We are so lucky to be in this position.
To backing cancer research and anti-bullying campaigns. 1D were true charity champs. Fame, fortune, and philanthropy, these boys did it all with heart. After One Direction's 2016 hiatus, the boys went solo and still thriving, with very different outcomes. Harry Styles became the breakout icon, Grammy wins,
and the Grammy goes to, you can read it,
Harry Styles!
hit albums, fashion icon status, endorsements, and Hollywood roles. He has an accumulated net worth of $140 million. Niall Horan leaned into heartfelt singer-songwriter vibes, topping charts, launching a golf biz, and becoming a voice coach.
Who did you use it on?
Yeah, I used it on...
In the history of The Voice, you've never owned that, he just got you.
He seats at a cool $60 million net worth. Louis Tomlinson dropped albums, launched his own festival and streetwear brand, and even mentored a winning act on The X Factor.
Lost.
He's smiling to the bank with a cool $60 million net worth as well. Zayn Malik went full moody R&B, dominated fashion collabs, and shocked fans by appearing as a mysterious duelist in a Yu-Gi-Oh! Live stream. He's also dabbled into real estate. No wonder he's got a cool $70 million net worth to his name. At the time of his heartbreaking death, Liam Payne's net worth was $40 million, thanks to chart-topping hits, big-name brand deals, and some smart real estate moves, like luxury pads in Malibu and Surrey. Liam had built quite the empire. But the sweetest part, Liam had already made it clear. His beloved son Bear was set to inherit it all. A tragic end, but a lasting legacy for the little one he adored most. From chart-topping hits and sold-out arenas to meltdowns, scandals, and one tragic goodbye, One Direction wasn't just a pop fairy tale. It was a pressure cooker in skinny jeans and matching blazers. Did the fame come at too high a price? And despite all the drama, heartbreak, and personal demons, one thing's for sure. One Direction left a legacy that still makes fans scream, cry, and stream like it's 2013 all over again.